Hello guys, and welcome to the third part of this tutorial. I'm gonna show you how I made this Reese bass. I'll give you the preset. It's a massive preset. I'm gonna give you this in the description, and I'm just gonna show you what effects I used and how I was thinking when I was using them. So yeah. I started out with only one one bass, and I put some distortion on it, and the distortion pretty much made the sound very muddy, and you don't want that. You want the distortion to be like a clean distortion. So what I did was I frequency splitted this. So here's the high. I put a multiband dynamics plugin here, and I just soloed out the high, and I decided what was gonna be the high by just doing this. I'm just gonna loop this around. As you can hear, this is not the high. This has too much mid in it when you put it down here. So somewhere here. And then the low, you need to decide what's gonna be the low. This has too much mid. This is pretty good. And then the mid is gonna decide itself, because the mid is obviously gonna be the thing between the high and the low. So yeah, and then you can just copy that off to all of this, and then you're gonna decide what kind of distortion you want on all of these parts. All I did was I put this amp on, selected blues, and then just put this treble down and the presence. So that's all, pretty much, for this high. Yeah, okay. So yeah, that's all I did for the high. And for the mid, as I said, I copied this off and then soloed the mid on this track. And on this, I don't know how to pronounce this, omnicide, something like that. On this preset I'm using, I pulled this down, because if you have this up, I always find that you remove all the bass or mid. Yeah, so put this down and this up. You can copy this off. If you are having trouble with getting the same sound, I could give you the preset for this. But really, it's all about getting a nice distortion sound. You don't really need this. You can do it with the amp or saturator or any other distortion plugins in your program. But it's just to make it more yeah, I don't know how to say it really. That's without, and that's with. It just gives it a nice color. And then I put this after, just because I thought that this was pretty boring and I just wanted to try this. And it really beefs up the sound. And then the low here, same plugin here, soloed out the low, and then this here you can really use any distortion you want, because you just want the low end to sound beefy. With, oops, and without now, pretty much no difference. So yeah, but that's what I did, and together they sound like this. So yeah, it's cool. For the second Reese bass, no, I forgot to show you what I did with this group here for the first one. I actually automated this EQ to make it sound like it's moving a bit here. You see that? This is called a notch filter. When you kill or boost like this really narrow band here, and then move it around. Without this, and with this boost and the notch thing, yeah, it's pretty cool. And this is just sidechaining with this trigger down here. So yeah, it's ducking every time. Saturator, as always, just a bit of drive here. That's what I did for this first group. Now the second group here. For the first sound here, high, the high one, I put I did pretty much the same thing, just different settings. No, this amp is exactly the same, and I think this is too. Isn't it? I think so. Just copy this off. Yeah, and for the mid. Ooh, that sounds beefy. It's mostly thanks to this amp. Yeah, it seems to be pretty nice to first put some distortion on and then put even more after this thing. It makes it really beefy. Blues, as I did before. I think I didn't touch this. Down with this a bit. This up, this a bit more up than this. A bit of presence, and yeah, that's it. I think this is the same patch as before. Why does this sound so beefy? It's so nice. And the low, yeah, same as before. And for this group, sidechained, boosted the highs, bit of drive, and that's it. And for this thing I called Resample, I sampled something I did here. I'll give you the sample because I just can't seem to nail it again. So yeah, I had this sample here, these 3 samples. This is the high, mid and low as before, and it looks like this when you drag it out, and it's just some random keys on the keyboard I pressed, like that, and I chopped it up. So I took this, made it small like that, copied that over, and then removed this thing here, and then took this part and copied that over like that. Oops, yeah, you get the idea. And it sounds pretty much like this Skrillex reptile thing. It wasn't supposed to, but yeah, really beefy and nice. So yeah, I'll give you these samples, so you don't need to worry about that. Yeah, that's it, I guess. Only thing is this sidechain. I know I have this playing right now because I had it playing in the sample without me even knowing it. It shouldn't be playing because yeah, it sounds like this, and it's only supposed to be a trigger for the sidechain thing. Yeah, yeah, like that. Yeah, that's it for this bass tutorial. Sorry if I was a bit yeah if I didn't explain everything too well, but yeah, join me in the next episode, please, where I will show you some other things. Yeah.